Hallo, welkom. Vandaag doen we het modelwerkwoord willen. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to do the model verb willen, to want. Okay, so in the last video, I did kunnen, can, and I suggest you watch that video first if you didn't do so yet, because I also explained their sentence structure and how an auxiliary works in the Dutch language. For now, as promised, I'll move on to willen. So willen is to want. How do we use it? Well, it's quite straightforward, honestly. For example, zij willen naar de bioscoop. They want to the cinema. They want to the cinema. Yeah, they want to go to the cinema. We could say in Dutch, zij willen naar de bioscoop gaan. They want to go to the cinema. But it's also okay to leave the gaan out, and it is implied. So we have a choice here to say either zij willen naar de bioscoop or zij willen naar de bioscoop gaan. The next example sentence. Ik wil een kopje koffie. Ik wil een kopje koffie. I want a cup of coffee. In some forms, it's in a way used as politeness. Now, the politeness is kind of meant as to indicate that you ask for if they would like to or not, if they want. For example, wil je dat voor me doen? Want you that for me do? Do you want to do that for me? And if you're very Dutch, we add some small words in there, which I'll explain in a different video, like even. Wil je dat even voor me doen? Literally, it would translate as, would you like to do that for me shortly? But it's not necessarily shortly and not necessarily a short amount of time. But yeah, okay. So here we have the examples. Now, willen is a false friend, of course, with the English will. Just as a fun fact, it is to want, right? Not to will. But if you look a little bit in the etymology of it, in Old English, you have willen, which meant indeed to want. And it is very close to willen, right? So the Dutch willen, you almost don't hear a difference even between the two. And in a way, it meant the same thing, right? So you can even see it still in modern English. Think, for example, about the expression last will. Somebody's last will is the last thing they wanted, right? But okay, having said that, the Dutch willen is to want. Let's go into willen. Willen is quite straightforward. The singular is wil for ik, wilt for jij en u. And the other singulars, hij, zij, and het, is also will. The plurals are willen, and then the past tense is slightly interesting. It is for singular, always wilde. Now, alternatively, you might hear wou. It's considered informal, so you might hear it, but you wouldn't see it in a written document. Then again, if you are in the south or in Belgium, you might encounter it written, but also there they prefer wilde, but both correct. Plural, past tense is always wilden. That's really it. So let's practice. Okay. So here we have the practice sentences, and we just want to put in the proper form of willen. Good luck. And here come the answers. Okay. So the proper answer is wij willen meer bomen planten. Garfield wil lasagne eten. Iedereen wil de wedstrijd winnen. Everyone is singular in Dutch, iedereen. Jij wilt slimmer dan mij zijn. Maria wil een korting krijgen. And also, instead of putting een in front of korting, we could say Maria wil korting krijgen. Is also correct. More about that when I deep dive into the article. Okay, for these same sentences, let's try the past tense. And here are your answers. So, wilden, we get voor wij. And the singulars have wilde. Now, if you did wou for sentence 2, 3, 4, or 5, it's also allowed, but please, it's better to just do wilde. Okay, that's it. In the next video, we'll expand on mogen, which has a little bit more meanings than the two model verbs you did so far. I hope to see you there. Een fijne dag en graag tot de volgende keer. Doei doei!